Hey everybody, it's Paul here from Blossom on my YouTube channel, Better Call Paul. And this is a fun monthly series that I started last month in August. So basically, what I'm doing is going back to the year 2020 and I'm rewatching a video that Adriano put out on his channel, Passive Income Investing. This was when he had just started his channel. I think he'd been doing it for maybe 3 or 4 months, and he had a monthly series where he recommended stocks or ETFs, a combination actually of stocks, ETFs, and REITs. So in September of 2020, he did a video called Top 3 Dividend Stock Picks September 2020. So what I want to do, guys, is I just want to take a look at the stocks and ETFs and REITs that he recommended at the time and see whether I still hold them, because I did buy a lot of a lot of his recommendations at the time. I did invest in them, and I held some of them for quite a while, and some of them I might still have, and some of them I got rid of. So I'm just going to take a look at what it was that he recommended 5 years ago, and see where they're at today, and what I would recommend now versus what he recommended back then. So, all right, guys, we'll start with the first one. So, pick number one back in September 2020 was HPF, which is the Harvest Energy Leaders Plus Income ETF. Now, the reason why Adriano recommended this at the time, the share price was at an all-time low of $2.24, and the yield was a little over 16%. So at the time, this was a great pickup for a recovery play. And the 1 year high at the time was $4.24. And that would give you an 8.5% yield. So you were getting almost double the yield at the time. Currently, this ETF is worth $3.16, and the yield is $9.55. So let's just take a quick look at this, guys. It says powerhouse players we all rely on. Big energy providers still play a crucial role in our day-to-day lives, and they have the scale and vision to respond to changing consumer preferences while delivering sources of energy we all rely on today. So this is the Harvest Energy Leaders Plus Income ETF, offers exposure to and income from those big players. So let's just take a quick look. Here you can see that the current yield is 9.49. It pays monthly. And let's take a look at the portfolio. So the portfolio, you can see it is almost 75% in the US and 25% in Canada. And you can see here it's all basically oil and gas, right? Oil and gas exploration, production, storage, transportation, refining, marketing, equipment services, so on, right? So here we have companies. Some of them I don't recognize. Some I do. You got TC Energy, Chevron, Enbridge, Occidental. So these are the positions, and you can see that a lot of them are in the States, and then you have a few in Canada. So what would I recommend today instead of buying this ETF? So in case you don't know my preferences, I do like Global X's ENCL, right, which is the Enhanced Canadian Oil and Gas Equity Covered Call ETF. Now, this doesn't have the US listed, so you're not getting that exposure. But I think, I would much prefer the 16% distribution yield versus the 9.5%. So for me, this is the better way to go. And we could look at the holdings. So the holdings are basically, it holds another ETF, which is the Global X Canadian Oil and Gas Equity Covered Call ETF. So this one, ENCL, is the leveraged version. Okay, so CL means that it's the leveraged version of ENCC, right? So this is ENCC. I'll scroll to the top. You can see this one is ENCC versus ENCL with leverage. And this one is higher than HPF at 13%. But we can go down and we can look at the holdings. And I'm sure you guys can all guess what the holdings are going to be, right? You have ARC or ARC Resources, Synovus, Whitecap, Tourmaline, right? Canadian Natural Resources, this is a big one in Canada, Keyera, Pembina, Imperial, and TC Energy. So for me, guys, this is the way to go versus HPF. So his second pick back in September of 2020 was from Quadravest. It's INC.UN. So this is an income trust. So some of the share highlights, right? High monthly income, attractive alternative to preferred shares, diversified quality portfolio, backed by solid investments in North American financial services companies. So let's just take a quick look at the holdings here. You can see that it has Goldman Sachs, TMX, Guardian Capital. It's also got Royal Bank from Canada. It's got Sun Life, National Bank, American Express, Canadian Imperial Bank, so CIBC, Manulife, and Bank of America Corp. Now, back in 2020, it dropped to $7.77, which gave you a 10% yield from the high of $10.24, which was a 6.5% yield. And currently it's at $9.16, which will pay you a $9.51 yield. So what would I buy as opposed to this? So what I would invest in is Evolve's Bank. Now, Evolve's Bank, you'll see right here, you're looking at a trailing 12-month yield of just 15%. So it's a lot higher than INC.UN's 9.5%. Now, holdings, of course, it's Canadian, so it's not going to have the US exposure. Okay, you can see it's got all the 6 big banks, and then it also has Power Corp, Great West Life, Manulife, and Sun Life. So I think this is, it's a great mix of Canadian financials, but you do lose out on the US. So if you want, you could match this with Evolve's Call, right? Which is their US Banks Enhanced Yield Fund. So if you pick up Call and Bank, right? Call will give you an almost 11% distribution. And you can see the holdings, you are going to get all your American exposure, right? So you got Citigroup, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Bank of America, right? Goldman Sachs, so on and so on. So I think these two would be better to hold than this one. So his third and final pick from September 2020 is Slate Grocery REIT. And I did own this one as well. I'm sure you guys all know that a REIT is a real estate investment trust. So this is going to specifically hold U.S. grocery backed properties. So where you have a plaza that has like a Walmart or another grocery store, right? They're going to purchase that property. So that's about it for REITs. Back then in 2020, it dropped down to $10 a share, and it had a dividend yield of just over 11%. Sorry. It had dropped down from its year high of $13.60, which gave just over an 8% yield. But currently, it's appreciated to $14.72, and you're getting just over 8% yield. So personally, I've had some REITs like Innovalis, and I believe it's TNT, True North, that did very poorly. And so I'm currently not invested in any REITs. But if I was going to decide to get into REITs, what I would do is just simply buy RMAX from Hamilton. So you can get Hamilton's REITs Yield Maximizer, maximize income from North American REITs. And right now it's yielding just over 10%. And basically with this, instead of investing in one REIT, you're going to be able to invest in a lot of them, right? You're going to have, here you can see, have all these different REITs. Granite's a big one. First Capital, RioCan is big in Canada. H&R, Smart Centers, right? You see a lot of Smart Centers if you go to Walmarts in Canada. And then you have Dream Industrial. You got Welltower, right? Canadian apartment properties, realty income. This one's huge in the States. Public storage, digital realty, choice properties, right? American Tower. So, basically you're going to get exposure to a lot of REITs as opposed to just one. And you're going to get a higher yield at the same time because it's a covered call ETF. So, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. I think it's fun to go back and look at the investments that we were, or at least I was, buying back in 2020 after COVID. Following Adrian on his journey to his early retirement. His passive income investing channel, and to see what he was buying at the time, and to see what has changed and what's available now that might be a better option, at least in my opinion. But again, guys, I'm not a financial planner. I'm just working on my own portfolio, trying to reach $15,000 a month, hoping to hit 11,000 in October this year. So anyways, guys, that's about it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below. Let me know if you're invested in any of these choices that Adriano picked back in 2020, or maybe if you have some of the new ones from my picks. All right, guys, that's all for today. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.